Hi everyone, Big Seven here, back for another BBL SuperCoach video. I hope you've all had a good Christmas period for those that celebrate it. As for myself, I don't really care for it that much. I get together with family on Christmas Day, which was nice. Don't exchange any presents or anything like that, although I did get a pretty nice present this year. It came from one Bo Webster who managed to put up 217 points, so thanks very much to him. Scored 916 points this round, which was a good score. Moved me up fairly substantially. Still sitting at about 4K though, so nothing really to write home about. It really has been a season of some bad luck, some bad timing with trades, but most importantly, some bad decisions that I will try to rectify this week so I can at least finish in the top 1,000. So I'll go into the side and show you how it is. So I ended up making the 3 trades last week, haven't used the boost yet, and those trades were Munro to Webster. Webster obviously was great. Payne to Fraser McGurk, and yeah, that was just a little bit unlucky there, especially that second innings where he got unluckily run out. So don't have any regrets about that trade. In hindsight, I would have brought in Hales in round 3 and Fraser McGurk in round 2, but it is what it is. And then Connolly to De Kock. De Kock did okay. I ended up captaining him as well. Elected not to take the score from Maxwell. So, yeah, it could have been worse. 91. I did actually consider going a Fraser McGurk pod as a captain, so lucky to escape that, I guess. So Clark 100 at the keeper spot. Ended up taking the 60 from Hales, and then Webster, Maxwell, De Kock, and Fraser McGurk, the only real letdown in the batting line. And then in the bowling line, Joe Richardson. Oh man, that's been a killer. Not only has he lost 70K, he's averaging 30. So um, that really has been a season-defining mistake, and there's really not much you can do. I mean, um, he does have that class. I did think he was worth the price point at the start of the year just because of how good he can be, but just I don't know, at BBL level, just in a bit of a slump. Um, Usama Mir, I ended up starting him, so it was good to finally get some return from him, 113 on the weekend. And then, Zampa's been underwhelming. Kane Richardson put up an okay score, but he's looking pretty washed, to be honest. And then I ended up looping Tanvi Sangha with Chowdhury. Sangha only scored 13, so elected to put Chowdhury on field, who only scored 10. It looked like Chowdhury's role was going to be okay after that first game, but then last game he didn't bat, didn't bowl. And yeah, I guess the consequences of having Richardson, having Short, and then a bunch of other players that have been underperforming is that my cash situation is pretty dire. Team value is under 2.1 mil. So that means I'm going to have to compromise moving into trades this week. In terms of teams on the double, there is only the Thunder. So, and I've already got Hales and I've already got Tanvir Sanger. And then, in terms of ideal players to trade out, Perth have 2 buys back to back, but after that they have 2 doubles. So in an ideal world, you would actually just hold those players through. So I plan on doing that with Richardson, even though he has tanked my price and tanked my season. And so that means that the players that are most ideal to trade out are the Renegades players. They don't have any future doubles. The Stars have a double next week. I guess if you had Sixers players, now would be a good time to offload them. But yeah, I think the Renegades players they're the ones I'm going to be looking to trade out, as well as Usama Mir. I think he's played his last game for the Stars and is going to be recalled for international duty. So we'll start by trading off Mir. Who are the players I want to trade in? And if I'm looking back to this, the Thunder have the double this week, but could also go for anyone from the Strikers, the Heat, the Hurricanes, or the Stars, realistically, although the Stars have just had back-to-back doubles, so do you really want them? And also the way that they've been playing, do you really want to bring in Stars players if you don't have to? So I think the teams, teams to target, Thunder, Strikers, though it is worth mentioning that their double is 2 games against the Scorchers, who are pretty clearly the best team in the competition. And then, so yeah, for me, Thunder, Strikers, Heat, and Hurricanes. And because I've already got 2 Thunder players, that gives me a little bit more flexibility. In terms of players from the Thunder that I would want to bring in, Hales and Sanger already have them. In terms of the bowlers, Daniel Sams, he is kind of washed, but also his role is just too good. Bowling the last over of the innings last game, and that should continue with Zaman Khan expected to only play this game and then jet off after that. So that makes Zaman Khan not an option. But it also enhances Sam's appeal, uh, both as someone that can take cheap wickets at the back end of the innings, but also is capable of scoring quickly with the bat. Chris Green, I'll never get him in. He's an okay player, but uh, he's an okay player, but he's never really going to be that much of a wicket taker. More just going to score okay with economy, and also don't like him. McAndrew, I think, could be a decent pod because once Zaman Khan goes, they need someone else to bowl the back end of the innings, and I think McAndrew did that in the first game and was okay in doing it. But yeah, 148k, someone that I can't bring in because of my cash situation. And then in terms of batsmen to bring in, already got Hales. Bancroft, he's just expensive, but if you've got the budget, then I definitely want to get him in. I think my personal circumstances prevent me from doing so, which is annoying, but what can you do? And then you've got your pods. Sanger, who was really good a couple of years ago, I think he's okay. Probably just doesn't go fast enough in terms of strike rate. So I think he's more going to be a steady, 30, 40 player each game rather than having those explosive weeks that you really want to try and get on a double. Ollie Davies is a bit more explosive. He'll be batting down at 4. He's a decent option as well. Wouldn't go near Hales. Definitely wouldn't go near Jilks. So for me, I'm going to get Sams from Mia. And I want to trade out players that have a red name next to them. So Clark de Kock, Richardson Zampa, ideally. So, and looking at the Renegades players I've got, I mean, if you had Sutherland, then he's someone that you can trade out, and probably an ideal way to do that. Unfortunately, doubted the Chief. That has backfired, but no real regrets. And last game, last double, he looked like he was on for a fairly average score, and then picked up 3 wickets at the back end of the Scorchers innings. So it is what it is. But anyway, that's handicapped me a bit. So without a way to get Bancroft, not really too keen on the other options unless I wanted to go Jason Sanger. So what I'm going to do, as mentioned, I'm going to target those Heat and Hurricanes players. Hurricanes in particular are pretty sneaky because they play the Stars this week, and the Stars are almost like playing the Stars is almost a double just because of how bad they are. So, in terms of Hobart players, Matty Wade, if you could afford him, he'd be a good one. I really like Nathan Ellis. He'll bowl at the back end of the innings, has a bit of a price drop, but yeah, he should roll through the Stars. So I'm going to bring him in, get rid of Quinton, and then the last player I'll get rid of will either be Zampa or Richardson. It will probably be Zampa, to be honest. And at least Richardson bowls at the back end of innings, so is capable of picking up cheap wickets. And the player I will bring in is a heat bowler, goes by the name of Spencer Johnson. Been a bit underwhelming to start the tournament, but you got to remember that he was coming back from injury. Should still bowl towards the back end of the innings, so there's a chance for him to get some cheap poles. And I think he'll be someone that people will want to bring in at that round 7 time. So these are the 3 trades that I'm going to do. And it leaves the team looking, I think, relatively strong, but also not ideal. I'd like to have Bancroft if I could, but the rest of the team looks fairly okay. And Joe Clark in that keeper spot, he's actually been doing okay, apart from the times where he's either been running himself out or been running other players out. And then, Short, Webster, Maxwell, Sams, and Hales. That's a pretty strong batting lineup. And then the bowlers, Tall Paul's been great. Spencer Johnson hopefully can take a few poles tonight. In particular, if he could get Bancroft out early, that would be awesome. And then, Tanveer Sangha, Nathan Ellis hopefully feasts against the Stars, and Kane Richardson. So in terms of vice captain, and I'll always use the loophole if there is a way of me doing it. And there is in the bowler's line. So what I would actually do is I would put Spencer Johnson there so I can loophole. If he does poorly, then what would I do? I would move Chowdhury into the batting line, put Matt Short on field over Richardson, and then put Whiteman on field and take McGurk's score. So there is a way of me loopholing, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to strand Matt Short there, though. I'll put him back on field. So there is a way of me loopholing. I think my clear option is Daniel Sams. I guess, if you had Bancroft, I think he'd be viable. Hales, I'm not too sure about. I think Sams is the obvious option, just getting those death overs and capable of scoring quickly with the bat as well. I think he's got the biggest ceiling in this game week. So even if I had Bancroft, I think I'd be going for Sams. What is the contingency plan? If he somehow gets injured or fails, I would go probably Matt Short against the Renegades at Marvel. They've been underwhelming to start the season as well. Also a revenge game for Matt Short, having come from there originally. So I think Sams would have to score below 20 for me to take Short, to be honest, as captain. So this is how the team will line up going into round 4. Hopefully can continue the positive momentum. Hope you guys are doing well as well. And as per usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.